All right, so in the book Make Work Better, I reference an article that was written just a couple of years ago by Heidi Lynne Kurter. In that article, she talks about 5 types of toxic workplace culture. Now, this is significant because I make the case in the book that at the heart of bad workplaces is dysfunction. And one of the things you'll see that contributes the most to dysfunction is, in fact, toxic workplace culture. Now, if there are 5 different types, the question is, which one have you had experience with? The first one that she mentions in her article is the hustle culture. So this is where you're always on, you're working 80 hours a week, you work weekends, you don't take holidays off, you're always in hustle mode. Believe it or not, this is a symptom or a type of toxic workplace culture. The second one is the blame culture, which can also be referred to as the every person for themselves culture. This is where instead of working as a team, individuals say, oh, this is the work I've been given. Okay, I'm going to get my work done to the detriment of everyone else on my team, and everyone else on my team gets their work done at my detriment. This is where it's every person for themselves, and there's plenty of blame to go around. A third type that you might have experienced in your lifetime is something called the clique culture. Clique cultures tend to be very unfriendly to outsiders or new people or people with fresh perspectives. It's kind of like where it seems like everybody's known each other for a long time. They all have similar backgrounds. They all share kind of the same culture. And when a new person goes in there, they just can't make much headway because they feel like an outsider constantly. And it's not that the entire company is a clique, but you will find even within larger companies, clusters of cliques where it's really hard to make any headway as a team player because you just don't feel like you can make it on their team. Again, that's another example of a bad, toxic workplace culture. Another one is the authoritative culture, which I would actually say you see less of this nowadays. And in fact, the word authoritative used to be considered a good leadership or management style. It was always the authoritarian style of leadership or management that was always frowned upon. But authoritative is where, again, people lead by title. They say, I'm the boss, so you've got to do what I do. All decisions rest with me. There's less input in an authoritative culture because everybody's wanting to be a yes person to the authority figure that's telling them what it is that needs to be done and quite frankly, how to do it. You see a lot of micromanagement take place in this particular type of culture. The last one is the fear-based culture. Again, you probably see less of this being demonstrated directly nowadays, and you see a lot of it being demonstrated more passively. So whereas in the past, you might have had literally someone screaming at you to get something done or threatening you in other ways, nowadays it may be like, so-and-so got promoted because they were always saying yes to this particular authority figure, and if I say no, am I going to lose my job? Am I not going to be promoted? That's where you see fear. So when people fear that they're going to lose something if they don't go along to get along, all of these are representative of toxic workplace cultures. And what typically you'll see in the worst workplaces, you'll see some of a lot of these, if not all of them. But typically in every single workplace, you're going to find at least one of these represented somewhere within your organization. But these are the 5 things that you usually see contribute to bad workplaces.